Yo, everybody. How is it going? You know, I want to talk about a few things. Before we really get into all this. I'll let some background music play. Things I touched on yesterday's live stream with Paul, and I figure rather than going and clipping that, I'm just going to talk about it a bit here in the beginning of today's live stream so I can clip it out. So, two topics. Rick Beato with another awful and so far off base take. I mean, this guy, I'm baffled by his subscriber amount, because unless people were just watching it to see what like the grumpy old man has to say and how wrong he is about things. So we know I've criticized a handful of his takes, like Billie Eilish being remotely comparable to Kurt Cobain. Where's this new genre of music that she's on the forefront of? How did her second album do? Oh, yeah, nothing came of any of it. No one cares. The only thing I've heard about Billie Eilish is now she's decided to be sexy and wore a corset. Oh, groundbreaking, innovative. Oh, wow. So, now his hot take, let's just turn that down a little bit. Now his hot take is why Gen Z doesn't care about music. And I mean, should probably play the video to refresh myself, but if I remember correctly, because I even brought this up to someone last night at the studio, and they were like, yeah, wasn't his take, it's like video games, like they're just more into video games or other content. And I mean, like first off, a lot of your sports games have musicians handpick the soundtracks. Your Forza Horizon games have radio stations in them. Grand Theft Auto has radio stations in there. So you can't just chalk it up to video games. What it is, though, is the platforms. And this is what irritated me so much about him giving this hot take, is like, this guy does music reviews and is conscious and mindful of how much of the music he can play before YouTube gives him a copyright strike. The problem is, and I've done a whole video on this called The Day the Music Died, the establishment became so concerned about copyright infringement and penny pinching that they've made it virtually impossible to really like share music in a meaningful way. Now, yes, you can just repost some shit or hit the share button, but you can't. You know, the idea of a YouTuber creating a MTV-esque TRL music video show, you just can't do it. Why would you do it? You jeopardize your channel. This guy can't even review songs because they will just strike his channel and shut it all down. That's the problem. The problem is the copyright system. So, then he goes on and says, oh, well, video games, it's the video games. Well, the reality is, there's plenty of games where if you stream them on Twitch, it knows to shut off the music in the game. Like, I mean, there are, if you check my gaming channel, like, I'll stream wrestling games, they turn off the entrance music. Like, and most of WWE's entrance music is made in-house. Like, they own it. It's particular to them, but again, the system is just so nobody can use anything. I get strikes on my own music. I mean, that's the insanity of it. We're living in a system, or we're functioning and working within a system where if I play one of my music videos on a live stream, I can't even have a TRL type show for my own shit. Like, that's how crazy it is. So to try to put the blame on anything but that just shows that you are either like just sticking your head in the sand and trying not to care about it or think either which way about it, or you're just being disingenuous, because the reality is it could conflict with your hustle or your shtick or whatever. So the actual reason why Gen Z doesn't care about music is because we've allowed the technology companies to systemically devalue music and basically just make it something that can be omitted. You can just go without. It's safer to just go without. It's safer for Rick Beato to just review music without anyone hearing the music but him. And then just, I mean, it's why I have no interest in watching a music review. Because I'm listening to someone talk about it, and then, like, I have to go listen to the songs. I don't feel like digging up some Spotify playlist and searching for it and everything else. And, you know, that's part of why I do agree with this. We need to build alternative platforms, but we need to build alternative platforms where people are okay with the sharing of music. Like, I've been trying desperately lately to fucking share my music on torrent sites, which are the, you know, pirating, illegal music shit. Yo, it's crazy you can't even distribute music you own on these platforms lately. Like, I've spent 4 hours trying to figure out what the fuck was going on with a JavaScript error on Pirate Bay, and then, like, other sites I tried to log in, it just wouldn't do anything. One was telling me to fill out a CAPTCHA that wasn't there. And at this point, I'm leaning into that the industry is running the torrent sites to make it so that the only music that's media that's getting pirated is industry media. Because I used to get so much exposure on those torrent sites, and now all you see are established people on there. It's ridiculous. So that's my hot take on Rick Beato's idiocy in regards to why Gen Z doesn't care about music. They do, but the platforms you're seeing them operate on don't want anything to do with it. It's just become this problem that it's better not to jeopardize your channel or anything else by trying to engage in it. So that's that take. Now the second one. As I mentioned, pro wrestling, another one of my hobbies. Oh, good news. So yesterday, there's been like 3 days this past week where I wake up to a message from Conan from the NWO. Amazing. Like that. Here's the funny thing about it. So in 2011, I helped record a mixtape by D. Johns called Keep It 100. So we did Keep It 100, and then in 2015 I launched my political news channel, New World News Network, where I even play off the NWO logo. Like, it's meant to be a play on it. So those two things. Then I watched Keeping It 100, and you know, now I'm being hit up by Conan, who says they're going to review some of my music and give me a shout out on their podcast. So it's like things are just coming full circle. So that was wonderful. That already had me happy in the morning. Then in the evening, I saw Elijah Schaefer post something, and I just hit him back being like, Elijah, your face is on my music. And I sent him the cover for I sent him a link to Everybody, which has like Blair White, Michael Malice, and all these other characters in the cover art, because it's a play on the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper. Well, next thing I know, he shares it with the Telegram group, and I have people in there being like, oh my god, where did you come from? You're blowing my mind. Let's do an interview. Lee Cash, I think, was the one guy. I'll, let me see if I can, pull that up real quick. Lee... No. Although this all does look kinda... He has one top pocket change. There's a video... I was looking at it last night. I mean, either way, I could always promote his stuff another time. Yeah, I must have checked it out on my other channel. But anyway, so he's hit me up saying, let's do an interview, and I'm talking, and just shooting the shit with him. And so I greatly appreciate that, because, I love Slightly Offensive and Elijah's show, and it's like, that's really the circle I would like to break into. As I've been saying, right-wing media could be breaking artists left and right if people cared, honestly. And I'm going to be the one to do it. Like, first off, I'll kick the door open, and then I'm going to bring everyone with me. Because as I've been saying lately, these MAGA rappers don't know what they're doing. Like, they know what they're doing as far as being an artist and acting in their own self-interest, but they don't know what they're doing as far as actually changing the culture. Obla Di Obla Da and Yellow Submarine have done way more to affect the culture than any sort of Let's Go Brandon shit is going to. That's just the reality of it. And so Elijah showed me some love last night. That was amazing. And then I had Ian Crossland bickering with me. And there's a few topics. Here's the thing. There's a few topics that I want to talk about publicly. Some are delving into the satanic dark arts and, that and how, that should just be avoided, and there are reasons the Bible says things. And I've heard Elijah talk about demons and stuff, so it's like, that's the platform where I would like to have that conversation and feel like it would be effective and stuff like that. I could just talk about it myself all day long, but I feel like if I do that, it's sort of a waste of it. Like, I don't want to just be beating this drum and being like, fucking demonic possession's real, like channeling is real, but it is. So then, I used to watch Timcast kind of regularly, and now I just can't. Like, I mean, it's like, it's so monotonous. Like, everyone just sort of has their shtick. And it's interesting because Ian is the one I see that's like, sort of almost there. But like, it's like he has these very hard blinders that he's just sort of set in stone that like, certain things aren't good. Like, I mean, the amount of times that I have heard him complain about Tim talking about self-identified leftist, and Ian get his panties in a bunch about Tim calling them leftists, it's like, just, I'm turning the shit off. Like, what's the point of this? Like, people identify how they identify. If someone else is fucking identifying them that way, like, it's like the pronoun thing. Like, Tim is referring to these people by their pronouns, and Ian's getting a problem with it, like, for some reason. So anyway, but the other thing is, I think Tim's heart is in the right place. I just don't think he has the mindset or the, I don't know, maybe motivation to do what needs to be done. Like, here's the thing I just don't understand. You can pay $70 a year and have unlimited access to all the streaming sites for music. So anyone who's been saying culture war for over a month and hasn't been involved in putting out any music, I have my doubts. That's all I'm saying. There are artists out there. They just need platforms. They just need that boost. They need the rub, essentially. And you could do a single deal. You could be like, hey, I'll fund the promotion of your next single. Let's just split the revenue. Like, this shit doesn't have to be complicated. Most people, like, the only people that get fucking uppity about it are communists who are all like, my labor. I mean, me and MintChip are talking this morning about working on this track, and it's just like, yo, I see you doing your thing. I'm doing my thing. Let me remix some shit. Let's collab. He's like, yeah, man, here's the vocals. Send them to you. I want to release this. I didn't own the beat. Blah, blah, blah. Yo, the money is not a concern. I am broke as fuck. But when it comes to this, the money is not a concern. So when putting out music is so cheap in comparison to movies and all this other shit these people want to do, it's like, why aren't you just doing the easiest thing first that could easily be put on autopilot, essentially? So that's my thing about that. That Like an unreasonable escalation for just an apple orchard. That's funny. So let's see this. Let's see my beef with Ian, because it'll give me a chance to sort of talk about the demon stuff a little bit. So Ian posted something about religion, because again, he has a very one-dimensional view of religion and Christianity. Where did that go? So, what did he say? How come millions and millions of people believe a woman got impregnated by a spirit? For real, in this world, a human woman got impregnated by a spirit, but it said it so in a book. This is this fucking, and again, my main point of contention is this is someone who I know has some awareness of like magnetic fields, vibrational energy. Like I was saying yesterday when I was talking to Paul, there's a egomaniacal part of myself where it's like I look at what I'm doing with music and I'm like, I'm altering and working with the fundamental building blocks of reality, like frequency. I'm manipulating time and frequencies and all this stuff. Like there's a way too deep way of looking at it that's kind of fanciful and magical in a lot of ways, but like this is what I'm saying. The same people who will entertain this sort of hippie vibe shit and energy and stuff will get a fucking hard blinders on when you're essentially talking about the same concepts but in a spiritual manner. And I really tried to make the point to him like, yo, I don't even think you're grasping like my whole view on this issue. Like, I mean, I call all the MAGA rappers the Westboro Baptist Raptors, like, so that should let you know my stance on that. But I'm also about to remix a song called God First and consider myself a Christian. Like, it's not that black and white. So here's the thing. I said, he said that thing because it's well, a book said it, so blah blah blah. No. Have you ever thought that there is a conscious decision in the minds of some of these people to accept miracles and to accept that in which seems impossible? That there are powers above and beyond the meat suit and our comprehension. And I mean, it's again, didn't you guys just fund a whole project for a dude I used to play shows with like every other weekend with Shane Cashman, who's brilliant. Shane's always been brilliant. I've always loved his work. But didn't you guys just fund a whole series on supernatural and and ghosts and all that shit? I mean, it's like different names for the same thing. But it's like, no, in this context, it's to be mocked and ridiculed and all this stuff. And then as long as we're talking about it in this sort of fanciful way that's bordering on sci-fi, like, I mean, the same way Ian feels about, the Bible and a spirit impregnating millions of people, I look at space travel like that. Space travel's a fucking, NASA said it, so we must have gone to the moon. Never mind the fact that we act like billionaires going into low Earth orbit is somehow groundbreaking 50-something years after the moon landing. Hey, I don't know. Technology's improved, but in this area, we're just lowering the bar. So, but NASA said it, so it must be true. There must be a black hole out there somewhere, even though, like, NASA is the government's fucking Photoshop division. Sorry. So, there's that whole bit. There's also nuclear bombs. I don't think nuclear bombs are a thing. I think the government has weapons that will fuck shit up. But as far as their, like Japan, people are living there. Like, so there are plenty of things that, people think are true because the government or the scientists said it. And it's not. Like, theoretical astrophysics, which is the umbrella in which a lot of the kooky shit I hear Ian talk about, it's theoretical. Like, it is sci-fi. It's sci-fi. It's as real as Star Wars. The two are interlinked. If you really look at, like, Star Wars and the beginning of all that shit and everything, like... So, it's just funny to me how, like, some things are okay to be said in a certain context, and the exact same things are ridiculous to be said in a different context. And you know what the main different context is? The differential? Morals and ethics. See, I look at all of these things in a very right and wrong, good and bad framework. And yet, it's interesting because Ian wants to look at all of this in a void of morals and ethics, and yet try to say there's a problem with me making a decision out of fear, I guess you would say, because, you know, it's like we're Donnie Darko here on the board between fear and love. So, ridiculous. People make plenty of good decisions out of fear. I mean, there's everything, I mean, and I'm one of these people that are like, we live in abundance, we don't live in scarcity, you know, I'm not for fear mongering, but there's an aspect to this that I feel like he just blew right past in order to make this point. So, my response, you lack the humility to appreciate religion. That's what I'm saying about the blinders, that humility. Spirits are very real. As someone who tried to utilize them to better my musical endeavors, let me tell you, night terrors and possession, and I'd say channeling too, are very real. It's what turned me to Jesus. I got in over my head. So, when your response to that is, you were scared into becoming a Christian, that's not a good way to make a decision. Like, that's such a weak-ass, lefty fucking take, where you didn't pay attention to anything I actually said, where I said, hey, not only are these things real, I was interacting with them and harnessing them. Now, we'll talk about DMT and the elves and all that shit all day long, and think that's all cool because it has to do with drugs and psychedelics. But when you're just talking about meditating, which again, he'll talk about meditating and the frequencies of a crystal and all this shit, and someone comes out and says, yeah, you know what? All that shit is real. And you can use it. And you can use it with bad intentions. And let me tell you, when you use it with bad intentions, bad things will happen to you. It's like the Doctor Strange movie that just came out. You know, Doctor Strange had this movie where Wanda has the Darkhold, and she's using magic to try to get her kids in this very cutthroat manner, and it's taking her humanity and everything else in the process. And that's what happens. What you have to give to get when you're messing around with that stuff. And like I said, it's what turned me to Jesus. I got in over my head. It wasn't simply just like, oh, I had a nightmare and then I decided that I needed Jesus to come tuck me in. Like, I'm talking about fucking, like, friends of mine would sit in on my recordings and they could tell when the switch happened and my whole movements start going in reverse and my speech is just winding like that. Like, I'm functioning in a complete reversed manner because I had gotten so good at this shit. Like, again, it's like intentional demonic possession because, again, Lucifer is the angel of music. There's a reason why music and Satanism are so intertwined together. So I'm talking about doing this shit, being like, yo, I was harnessing this supernatural thing. I would stand in front of the microphone, I wouldn't write down a single word, and an entire song would just come out, and I could just sing it like on some Jay-Z shit. And you would play that backwards. My one song, It Gets Better. The chorus is, with my face to the ground, it all turns around, it gets better, it gets better. You play it backwards, it says, I am Satan, I am Satan, I am the one that started this, and now I'm here to save the music. What? Like, again, the people I were collaborating with would just be like, so what evil shit does this say backwards? Now, I completely came out and say, like, no, I was scared when I realized how real Satanism is and then turned to Christianity. I was going nuts writing songs with backwards messages, hiding symbolism in the artwork, and started having night terrors and seeing, I don't know, ghosts or something. Like, I'm no Bible thumper, but that's how I learned the truth about what we're told through allegory. I realized the dark side of the Force, then turned to the light. Either way, there is much more to reality than most can take in. Some find it through DMT and such. Again, we're all cool with the elves and the taking the drugs and all that, but when you can just interact with that shit on some, I'm operating on that frequency all the time. Oh, well, that we can't because we can dismiss it with the drugs. That's the reality. That's why it's safe to talk about with drugs being involved, because you can just write it off as, oh, well, that's the substance. Not that there are actual entities that are, being interacted with. And I say straight out, I was in a dark place in general and sort of turned to the dark arts to weaponize my talents in an effort to achieve more power over my situation. Like, that was my, like, there are songs where it's just basically, like, telling people, like, you love me, worship me, this and that and everything else. Oh, shit, wow, everyone's just popping in Twitch. What's going on, everyone? But yeah, like, I was full on, like, Beatles, Aleister Crowley, automatic writing, like, doing all of this shit, but, like, I mean, I would be, like, laying in bed, thinking I'm awake, seeing, like, figures moving around the room, and then I would just wake up, like, screaming. There was a time where I went down to the basement to get something, and I see just this white, shadowy figure in the doorway, and I bolted up 2 sets of stairs, and my family turned to me and just was like, what spooked you? Like, they knew something had to be, because I'm running like I'm in a fucking horror movie. And the thing about it is, like, we hear these stories, like, about Led Zeppelin bought Aleister Crowley's house to do rituals in, and they were having hallucinations about heads rolling down the stairs and stuff. Now, again, like I said, people will be fine with talking about all of this stuff with drugs being in the context, because then they can dismiss it all, rather than realizing that, no, maybe there is stuff occupying our same space. There are forces. There's all of this stuff we're told in allegory, and you're not ready for it. You're not cut out for it. I wasn't cut out for it. And then even here, people are talking to him saying, dude will say this, and then 5 minutes later talk about the most insane spiritual energy crap. And it's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about dark spiritual energy and trying to use it and thinking there aren't consequences to doing so. So someone else says, I think what you're saying is once you've seen the devil, there's no choice to believe in God also. The God of the Bible is purely perspective. Yeah, I'm not pushing a denomination at anyone. I mean, again, far from it. Like, I said, pretty much, I mean, I was raised a Catholic, turned away from the church before confirmation, and was a standard New York liberal Democrat atheist. Even when I got into Satanism, it was from a very materialistic psychological perspective. Didn't give it much mind to the concept of a spiritual reality. And that's again the thing where it's like, a lot of the stuff in Aleister Crowley, the talk backwards, it's subliminal messages. We see marketing employ this all the time. You gotta ask sometime, why do Lady Gaga and all these people, like, she just rips off of, like, everyone from Elton John to Queen and all this other shit. What sets her aside from everyone else that can do the exact same thing? And it's the subliminal messages. It is the being able to do a song forward and backwards. That's, I mean, Charlie XCX, like, she's got this new song, Don't Think Twice. Maybe I'll pull up some of the clips. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna get into this. Sorry for anyone who wanted me to do I still have them saved? Anyone who wanted me to just rip into the music making, but this shit's important, and like I said, I want to cut up the beginning of this to put out as smaller segments. But this song, I heard it, and it's just like, don't think twice, that, don't think twice, that, don't think twice, and immediately I was like, oh, I know what she's doing. Oh, let's see, where are those clips? So, I sent them to a few friends, and I mean, some of the shit is like funny, like there's funny backmasking. Hold on, let me just switch this for a second, and shout out to everyone in the chat. What's going on, everyone? I just gotta bring that up. Okay, and we are back. So let me scroll through my chat to find these messages. And again, now here's the reality about this stuff is some of like the backmasking, people do it unintentionally. Like, I mean, there's kind of theories that, you know, it functions as like a lie detector sort of thing. Let's see. But I mean, you know, again, with the whole conversation with Ian, it's a little silly how people will talk about things in this very particular concept. Okay. Found them. Save to downloads. Save to downloads. Save to downloads. Okay. Why am I only seeing 3 or 2? Okay. So, new Charlie XCX song. Don't think twice. Let me show you guys the backwards messages in this shit. Anyone catch that? Sorry, my nigga, sorry. I wish this wouldn't go. Sorry, my nigga, sorry. Sorry, my nigga, I'm sorry. Sorry, my nigga, I'm sorry. So there's that. And this was, again, me listening through this song that I was in love with and just wanted to hear on repeat. And then I was like, what is she really saying? Money, want money. Or it's like, money, want more money. Like, I wanted more money. Her memory's evil. Get more sales, get more sales, get more sales, like... Get more sales, get more sales, get more sales, get more than her. That's what that's saying. Yeah, I mean, and I could do that without even having to write. Like, I can just do it in my head audibly. I can talk it. Me and another friend of mine who's a very talented musician, and that's the thing is I mean, you could even just say we got to a point where we got too good at just doing songs, and then it's like, well, what sort of codes can we hide in the songs and everything? And like, when you're messing around with that shit too much, you can get in over your head. Again, things were told in allegory that have a bunch of reality here. Ian, you're wrong here. Every major event going on right now is caused by fear, and everything's fine. We're fine. LOL, Ian, bro, I'm with you on this one. I would love to play SmackDown and Sheamus regarding this subject. There's nothing scary about becoming a Christian. You're talking about something you know nothing about. Have you ever tried Christianity? I assume not. You're calling God a ghost. Okay. So, I guess people a chance. Did you hide first? Yep. Whoa. What was that? Did I just super chat or something? Someone showing some sort of support? That's crazy. Thank you. Whatever that was, I just heard a noise and saw a dinosaur jumping around. I'm on it myself. And you know, this is the thing. These are, again, personal things. So with this, because I guess we're just going to go into this too. Sorry, anyone who thought I was going to get right into the music, because I'm getting some momentum, and I have some people's attention right now, and I just need to do what needs to do, and fucking say what needs to be said, and get everyone in line, really. I'm on it myself. And part of it, you know, one of my criticisms that this response came from is there's this new story going out being like, you know, U.S. drug overdose deaths have now hit this super high point and everything else, and Keyword Safari has rated you with a party of 9. That's cool. Shout out to everyone on Twitch showing support. So, right-wing media will cover this, you know, drug overdoses, and they point to the border and COVID, but no one even mentions Suboxone. And I said, they're just playing politics. The deaths are just a stat rather than lives that could be saved. Yo, you know what the funny thing is, when the person yesterday was like, you're blowing my mind, where did you come from and all this, is like, there is nothing I'm saying that's deep, groundbreaking, or anything else. It's just the fucking truth. Like, it's just simple, straight facts. When the right-wing media is like, all these drug overdose, hundreds of thousands of people dying, you know, and it's because of the border. Well, what can a person in their own life do to affect the border? Nothing. So it's just this game for politicians to get into of, oh, well, we need the border, we don't need the border, and, you know, this and that and the next shit. And it's meant to just remove the agency, whether consciously, unconsciously, indirectly, directly, whatever. But they're making it seem like this drug issue is just, it's in the politicians' hands. There's nothing that the people can do to help themselves. And this is one of those areas where, you know, when the left says we need to raise awareness about certain things and advocate for, this is one of those areas. I don't like talking about the fact that I used to fucking do heroin. Who does? Like, I think it's kind of cringe. Like, you know, I used to work as a, like, peer counselor, and it's so cringe when people are like, I have this problem and that problem and the next problem and I don't want to talk about that. I want to focus on my music and the good I'm trying to bring into the world. But the reality is they're just topics that the right wing wants to point out and deal with abstractly, but not personalize. And these things need to be personalized. So, you know, if the right wants to talk about drug overdoses and no one's going to even mention that Suboxone is a thing, I'll fucking be the one to do it. I mean, I'm on it. I've been on it for a while now. I'm on a very low dose. The whole reason I started doing opiates was I've always had chronic pain from Lyme disease. So there's that. I don't know. I got Lyme when I was like 3. I don't know of life without chronic pain. That's just the reality of it. So when I discovered opiates, I found something where I was like, oh my God, this makes me feel normal. Like this gets me to a baseline, like comfortable. So that was like a lifesaver. So, but of course, you don't want to be a fucking dope fiend or an opiate addict. But then Suboxone came along, and I've been using that on a 2 milligram a day dose. I'm good. I have no aches and pains. It doesn't make me feel impaired or high at all. And I'm good. And I can operate. And, it's like, it makes it where even if I wanted to go out and use, and I mean, I live in Poughkeepsie, it's 2 mile by 2 mile area with a very big dope problem, but I wouldn't know who to call or who to ask or anything like that. But it's just one of these things where it's like, what you're bringing up this story and the only context it's ever dealt with as if it's a political problem rather than a problem of getting Suboxone to these people so that they don't have to be on the streets committing crime to support a habit or anything like that. Like, if we just opened up Suboxone clinics, I don't understand how we open up clinics for junkies to shoot up, but they're not handing out Suboxone on the street corners. That's the reality. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Unless too many people are making too much money off this problem. So yeah, he said there, I've watched Suboxone save many a life. It literally gives people a chance. Suboxone will give you a high at first, but within a few weeks, you are playing sober. Yeah, and it makes it where if you use heroin, that nothing, you can't get high. It basically blocks it. It's one of the ingredients in it is the same stuff that they give people when they're overdosing. So that's, one of my gripes there. And, I kind of been wondering lately, are any of these people going to platform me? Because all I do is keep calling out their bullshit. And then we also have this. So this I thought was kind of interesting. CM Punk came out with a hot take on the Roe versus Wade issue. And basically just, went through all the buzzwords about, oh, well, this is right-wing fascisms and, all this other nonsense about, taking away a women's choice and all this stuff. And the thing that sort of irritated me about this Rover as elite, rich, white, terrorist, religious fascist. What? What's your bank account, buddy? Because I'm pretty sure you were the one that said you weren't going back to work unless someone pulled up a boatload of cash. This guy has the audacity to be like the straight edge fucking pro wrestler who's all about drugs and alcohol are bad for you and everything else. And yeah, like I completely respect someone who can have the self-discipline and the self-control to say, no, I'm not going to engage in, these substances that result in feeling good, essentially. Like, it's like a level of impulse control and stuff. And, it's all about that. But then for some reason, like, just thinks women should give into every sexual, carnal desire for the sake of pleasure. Like, they can't responsibly have sex. They can't have proper family planning and... Like, I just don't get it. I just don't, like, so, I mean, it's like, to me, knowing that about him, when he says this, I'm like, yo, that's actually wildly misogynistic. Like, you're actually just basically saying, oh, women can't handle having the same level of discipline over their sex life that you have over your straight edge substance abuse shit. Like, it's just, it really, really bugged out. Really bugged out. So, anyway, yeah, someone asked if he cried a little bit. Yeah, for my wife, my sisters, for mothers and women who are helplessly watching their rights over their bodies be stripped away by elite, rich, white terrorist, religious fascists. I mean, look at where millionaires and billionaires donate. It's all to the left wing. Bill Gates has been funding abortions worldwide all over the place. And that's the other thing that really irks me. You want to have a hot take and come off like a fucking, you're shooting from the hip like some sort of asshole. Hey, I'm doing it right now. All for that. But be a little bit tethered to reality. Just a little bit. Because it's actually like, the only people that are like for abortion in most of the polling is middle class white women. And your billionaires love it. You know why? Because they don't want a woman fucking worrying about her kids. You got to work for the corporation. I mean, that's the funny part about all of this. Like this idea that we've liberated women from what I consider the most magical thing. You know, that's another thing about my gripe with Ian and the whole religion thing. You want to know my simple ass take on the Bible? The Bible says I am made in the image of the Creator. If I'm made in the image of the Creator, I think it's safe to assume that my purpose is to create. That's how I started to believe in creationism, is because I'm looking around at the world and I'm like, oh, everything I care about, everything around me, everything I interact with was created by something or someone. Why should I then not extend that to its logical conclusion? And instead, people look at the marvelous world of creations we have. They go on podcasts and tell people we need to create and we need to build. And yet they think the very starting point of all of this was just some cosmic whoopsie-daisy. That there was no creation behind, like, the start of all. Like, it's silly. It's really silly. So, and even the other thing, it's like, okay, yeah, liberate women from their fucking loving husband and fucking cute-ass children so that they can go sit in a fucking cubicle and work for some corporation that's, what, I don't know, maybe gonna give them a bonus. It sure as hell isn't gonna love them. So, I mean, that, like I had tweeted to him, I'm not one of those burn your merch type of people. Definitely makes me a lot less inclined to wear my CM Punk shirt, though, that I was really excited to get. That's the problem. You know, this is like why I don't like the idea of mixing politics with creative entertainment endeavors, because you end up in situations like this where someone's just like, fuck it, like, you're such a douche, like, I mean, even this, like, you know, people wearing rainbow colors because of the fucking Florida bill. And it's like, oh yeah, let's not have sex ed for 3rd grade. Is that too much to ask? Really? Too much to ask? So, anyway, I'm watching your stream. No, man, I'm about to start right now. Actually, I had a handful of fucking things I wanted to rant about for my news channel, and I was gonna just doing them now so I can just chop the video up later. So let's get into the fun stuff. So I'm pretty sure the track was at 80 BPMs. God, I'll tell you, the one thing I hate, I might actually, once I get into doing this, might hold on, let me try to run this through the mic stand. I might fucking turn off my mic for a little bit and let the fan run, because it is hot as shit up here. What do I want to do the chords with? I know I have a MIDI category. Maybe I call it note, yeah. Orb, Riffer. Wow, I feel like I'm like just drawing a complete blank on what I use for... Oh, I know why I'm drawing a blank. What did he say it was? A flat. So I'm going to do this using a Chill Out Engine, which I've been really enjoying lately. I'm hoping this is all just easy. There's not too much time stretching and all that shit going on. Although I have gotten kind of good at doing that shit. And I'm just getting some shit in here to mark the beats. I don't know, that doesn't sound like it like hits immediately.
Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the
Oh. Ratchet. Oh. Find a clap. Alright. I think the easiest way for me to make sure I got this on beat is to throw the original in here and sort of use that as my guide.
every morning.
Yeah, this says 80.12.
Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross. Every morning I wake.
I really hope it's just 80 and not 80.12. Why do people work in fractions like this? Then again, if you just got the beat from elsewhere, you know, you really don't have any control over it.
Morning I wake up. First, so I'm never stressed. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, fill our cups.
Let me turn this up a little bit.
It's in all of us. God surrounding us, He's all around us. Time to put your phones down, cause they blocking God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us, He's all around us. Time to put your phones down, cause they blocking God's love. I forget all the mental
That
prison.
the preview of that sounds really off, but I actually think if it was in a different channel, there might be something to that.
Always been there. You can end that search. God will take away the pain and all of that. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God's surrounding us, it's all around us. Time to put your phones down, cause they blocking God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive
already
all the
sort of
sinners.
like just
Made in his image, we are all God's children.
just have the piano and the beat, and it'll be like God's love unplugged. Like,
Petty politicking, so it's time to get offline and put God first. Technology is great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, the answer's always been there. You can end that search. God will take away the pain and all of that hurt. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross.
now bring that back. Okay. Typing in fucking God first into the search bar instead of the other. Let me make sure I keep the chat up. I wonder. Oh, I guess it doesn't, or it says read only. What was that? Read only for Facebook. What? Twitter? Yeah, I don't know. I guess it doesn't show me if someone's watching on Twitter and all that. Okay. Let's chill out engine. I love this plugin. You know, I feel like this is one of the other things that like sort of sets me aside from some of these, like, I don't know, other artists and everything, where it's like, you don't have to be worried about the AI fucking taking your thing away. Like, you can use it to embrace and maximize your thing. Like, the computer's giving me options. I'm the mind that's picking and choosing and, you know, coloring the sound essentially and all of that. Like, so let's also then just find some drums. Do they have anything with a lower BPM?
Morning, I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God's surrounding us, it's all around us. Time to put your phones down, cause they blocking God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in his image.
And I mean, even the other thing, like, you know, here's the funny part. People gripe all the time about, oh, electronic music, it's so easy. You can just fucking, you know, play whatever and hit quantize and auto-tune it. And it's like, yo, if you really just did that, it would sound awful. Like, it sounds like I go through great lengths to program my stuff to sound imperfect, basically. Oh, I didn't mean to harmonize. I meant for humanize. And all this does is just sort of like switch up the timing here and there, make one note a little late, one, you know, gives it some I don't know why I keep blurring today. Oh, I wonder, I think this will be the first song actually I'm doing with my new effects chain on the out bus, so that'll be good to see how that works out. Yeah, the only thing that sucks about streaming while I'm working on shit is then I can't use my speakers and just have the shit thumping. I mean, I guess I could switch to my Beats headphones instead of my mixing headphones. That would be a little better. So let me do that. Yo, and I just want to say in general, shout out to MintChip, because, like, the reality is, when all of that Let's Go Brandon shit was going on, I tried doing remixes of people's shit. One of them, Cameron Eifeld, Let's Go Brandon remix. One of them was pretty dope, I think. And like, I tried reaching out to other people. I have like a Let's Go Brandon beat. Like, mine just has like a vocorded hook and then open 16 bars, and I would just send it around to people. And I understand we're all right wing, we're all like individuals and shit, but again, you can't affect the culture at large if we're all just our own little islands. Like, so shout out to MintChip for fucking, like, in a heartbeat, just being like, yeah, let's work. But, like, this was a country song, like, just him and an acoustic, that I never thought I'd be alive to see how this world ends with dinosaurs. Now, how much better would this be if I had the vocals and wasn't making the acapella myself? We won't forget 13 souls who never made it home for the reason why they didn't, but I pray God bless them all.
It seems like we forgot about what matters in this world, like family and good friends.
And right here,
Stand the ground and we planted our roots in. Hold it down with the colors of freedom now. Can't you hear that sound of all the she's flowing in though?
I made that shit bop. And the original is like,
about what matters in this world, like family and damn good friends. We stand the ground that we planted our roots in, and hold it down.
and I mean, because it's an acoustic track, like, it was fairly easy to isolate the vocals and extract them, but still, it would have been way easier if I was just sent the acapella. And it just makes me, like, question, like, what are we all doing if we're not working together? Like, that's the reality of the culture war. Like, I've said, you know, if I had the time, that's really what I need. I need a staff, because there's so much work to be done to do what needs to be done and to do what everyone says needs to be done. And it's like, we need infrastructure. I mean, like, why? Bryson Gray has the #1 song in the country. Is there a tour happening? Like, is there, what's, like, that was my whole gripe with the whole Let's Go Brandon thing. Okay, everyone's got a song, happy 15 minutes of fame. What's next? Like, I keep saying, a song is just a song. Woodstock 69 is a cultural impact moment. That's like impact, like a meteor hitting the earth impact. People still look back at that as a pinnacle of the cult. Now, how many #1 songs were performed at Woodstock 69? Who's organizing the Woodstock 69? Who's what platform do you go to find artists that don't hate the country and want to talk about fucking lefty shit? There's nowhere for it. The biggest issue is the platforming, and like I said, music is the cheapest and easiest of all cultural things to do. Here's another thought that crossed my mind yesterday, where I thought, why is Daily Wire doing movies that cost so much money instead of just funding a record label? Like, with, I don't know, 20 grand, you could fund a record label and get that shit up and running and on autopilot from there, because they already have the infrastructure to access a fan base. You could probably just sell a handful of NFTs to your fan base. I mean, maybe not this week, but prior to that, and you would have been set. I'm telling you, there is a hunger there. We see it when people go to #1, but no one's these artists are doing it, and it's almost like they're throwing shit at the wall and just occasionally something hits, but no one with the business mind is doing it. And like I said in my other video, do I have to be the one? Because I've been around the New York, New Jersey hardcore scene when that shit first started and birthed screamo and emo core and all that stuff. Like, so I, you know, picked the brains of the people that were running the record labels that were starting all of that shit. Then I've been in New York hip-hop, underground hip-hop scene. I've seen how that works. I know how that operates and everything. And, like, it's not easy. There's a lot to do, but the biggest issue is platforming, lack of platforming, people saying we need all this shit, and instead, though, they will fucking hop behind Nicki Minaj for, you know, questioning vaccines. They're so desperate for performers and entertainers to, you know, validate their opinions, and meanwhile, they could be creating their own, you know, known performers and whatever, like, and it's, I just, you know, ask myself, why are artists like myself have to be in this position where it's like, oh, I have to, you've given me a choice. I can stay silent about my political opinions and hope to make it in the music scene or music industry and not be myself and not have to speak openly about, I mean, this is why I had a Twitter that had followers like Candace Owens, who we'd message back and forth occasionally, again, before she got super big and busy. But I deleted the account because I thought I couldn't have both, basically. I thought I either had to be a musician or I could be outspoken about my politics, because I don't want to be like a cringe act where it's like I have to wrap myself in American flags and do all of this signaling to the right wing that, you know, I'm one of them, so please embrace me and accept. I just want to make good music. I don't hate the country. I like the country. I like guns. I am right wing, but I just want to make good music. Like the song Everybody that Elijah was sharing in the Telegram group, that's just an upbeat dance song with some trumpets, and like the cover art, it's like my family's in it, Elijah's in it, Blair White, Martina, Jack Buckby, all like all these people. But then there's also like Alex Jones in between Kanye West and Michael Jackson, and like all these people that like have influenced me in some way or another, or I admire their hustle or something like that. And it's almost like that's why it was for the song Everybody, and it was like a play on that Beatles thing, because it's almost like that's what we need, actually. Like that's what we actually really need. So trust me. Once I get enough eyes on this shit, people are going to be like, "Oh, now I understand why he kept saying white boy Kanye." So I'm gonna white boy Kanye this shit. You wanted Kanye to be on your team, everybody. Everybody wanted Kanye to be in the club. You got white boy Kanye here. Realest nigga on the right, by the Joe Biden standard. I am here. So, let's get back into this. Why'd everything just get wonky? Let's see. I'll leave that part blank because, I mean, it looks like it's like just a little break before the hook drops back in.
Cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politicking. America's great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, Christianity has been stomped into the dirt, but it never left. Time for it to reemerge. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed.
You know,
Every
honestly,
morning I wake up.
I think a lot of that is a little too much like staccato-y, bang, 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 bang. I think this is more of like a kind of like the drawn out chords that are here, but I want to keep the little like flourishes. So let's consolidate this, and we're gonna remove the bass chords and remove all of this.
Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, fill our cup. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every
Hey,
morning
thanks,
I
man.
wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift the morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face.
Thanks, man. I did the overlay myself. I I mean, even today on Twitter, I posted like 10 little graphic things that I was sitting in the studio last night while my friend was laying down some drums and was just like taking pictures of the studio and then fucking with it and stuff. So, like, again, this is why I'm trying to be like, hey, anyone, if you need fucking creative help or anything, like, I'm meant to be running a record label because I am a workhorse on the level of I just can't I can't see everything through to the end of everything I start, like, or I just don't. I do more work than one person should be, like, and I get insane if good stuff, man. I just got around finding streamers with lower views and stumbled across you. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, my whole thing is I don't like. I would like being the guy in the background. Like I want to be the Diddy to someone's Biggie, basically. Just the sort of, there's people that are like the faces of the things, and then there's always the sort of creative mind in the background, like that's just like, hey, maybe we should change it, just tweak it that way, and like I like being that guy.
Watch my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Watch my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I never stress. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners, made in His image. We are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Lift us up, fill our cups. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Lift us up, fill our cup. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners, made in His image. We are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politicking. America's great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, has been stomped into the dirt, but it never
Nice.
left.
Thank you, man.
Time for it to
I appreciate it.
Every morning I wake up feeling blessed.
Yeah, 1, 2,
Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed.
what's that?
Wash my face,
1,
put
2,
the cross
3,
on my
4,
neck.
5, 6,
I
7.
rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us God first, so I never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling.
I'm doing good,
Every
Moxie.
morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face,
Hot,
cross on
because
my
I don't have my fan running when I'm
need to confess.
streaming, because sound, noise issues. But besides, a little too warm for my liking. I'm doing great lately.
I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I never stress. Lift us up, fill our cups.
I really don't know if it's right for the song, but I really like this, like, bass. Wow, 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 wow. Like, Hugs? Is that correct? Hugs? What's going on? Yo, popcorn player. Thank you. People making music, it's not a common thing to see. Really, you know what it is? It's honestly like, it's hard for me to, like, it really was hard for me at first to, like, want to do this, because, like, sometimes I just zone into things and I feel like I won't be engaging enough. Again, you guys are talking, so the back and forth is good, but I always just feel like I'm not engaging enough because I'm concentrating. Like, I would never want to have a stream going when I'm actually doing, like, my mixing, because I really need to concentrate on that. But there's also a lot of stuff, like, I even questioned if I should do this stream, because, like, MintChip, when he sent me the vocals, he was like, oh, do you have auto-tune? That was one of his concerns. I can't sing. That's why I'm really good with vocal editing and stuff. But I understand, like, it's like, you don't want to see how the sausage is made sometimes. So, again, that's why I have his other vocal takes muted until I really get into it. And I think that's it with a lot of people. It's very private, like, the creating of it is a very private thing for a lot of people. But I've had so many people come to me when they hear my music and they're like, how do you get this sound? And that kind of butts up to another reason that it's like, I don't know if hard for me to get into doing this at first, is like a lot of processing and layering and tweaking and trying things out. And then it's like, there's sometimes where it's like, I might do a song's worth of work and then just group the tracks and bounce that to a track and, like, just use that as a sample. And it's like, I've made a whole song just to sample it for 8 bars or something. So it's like, I don't know how entertaining that would be, or, all these questions. And then eventually I was just sort of like, I'm just going to do it. Like, I'm just going to have it running. If it gets the views, it gets the views. It's content to have out there. And I mean, lately, like, I have to say, you asked how I was doing. Popcorn players sending people to me, and you guys showing up and showing support. It's very on with the past couple days. I've been having a really amazing past couple days as far as creators I admire showing me love and support, and just people finding me and being like, yo, where have you been? Like, and everything's great. Thank you guys.
Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess.
Alright. I do like those higher parts, but I'm gonna come back to that. I'm just gonna leave a straight sub going right now.
Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God's surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too
To anyone watching that makes music, I definitely recommend checking out Feel Your Sound. That's the guy that makes this plugin I'm using. This guy's tools are, it's like there's certain software I come across, like Bitwig Studio, the DAW I'm using, that like when I use it, it's like I almost feel as if like it's made for me, like it's tailor fitted to my process. And Feel Your Sound, that guy is, his tools are just so helpful. Especially in a day and age, like one of the things I'm asked all the time for like people with licensing music stuff is like, oh, does it have any samples? And even here, it's like I took MIDI chords from Cymatics, and then the moment I feed it into this thing, it's changed it up. So it's like, no, there are no samples. Like I had an AI create a variation of a chord progression off of a sample, but it's not anyone's copyrighted material.
Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God's surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget.
Yeah, overcomplicated is kind of my thing and my constant battle with myself. Oh, trust me. There's old music of mine that I put out years and years ago under the name Jamie Starr, and I would distribute it on torrent sites, and I'd mix my tracks in with like the top 40 of the week or whatever. And it's gone so much, and it's really like the stuff, it's not that great. Like in retrospect, it's very on with stuff I hear coming out now though. It's like hyper pop, kind of like ahead of the curve, but it's so much, it's so busy, and it's like the little things, like I love little vocal chops and stuff like that, but it's like I've realized it's so much more effective when you exercise restraint and don't have it. Like, think of it like this: if you're a guitarist and you want to do a guitar solo, you almost need the entire song to frame that guitar solo so that it can really shine and have the spotlight on it and everything like that. If you're just shredding from the start to the finish of the song, it leaves no room to appreciate the solo. Like, it just becomes the norm. It's just what's happening. So a lot of my older stuff was like that. And I've done a rebranding because I found someone has a Bandcamp where they're like selling all of my old material, like DJ mixes, like, and I honestly, I don't care because I can just whip up more and everything like that. But I really was like, I'd look at it as sort of a compliment because like 16-year-old me, I used to do that for my friends' bands, where it's like I would get their stuff and I'd be like, oh, here's some artwork I designed for you. I uploaded it to a torrent site for you to help promote you. So I look at it as like, this guy's a super fan. Like, he's got obscure shit of mine that I don't even have copies of. So I'm not going to bother with that. I've asked him, though. I've been like, hey, why don't you help me push my new shit? And no response, but...
Fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God's surrounding us, it's all around us. Trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in his image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politicking. America's great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, Christianity has been stopped.
Hey, Itchy and Twitchy. I know, Popcorn Player has been hooking me up. I'm so appreciative of it. Like I said, it's past couple days I've been getting like this just wave of support, and it really feels great. Because, you know, if you check out thumpermusic.us, there's a bunch of music there. Like I was talking to someone about it the other day, actually, and I said, I'm glad I'm getting people noticing me now, because, like I was just telling Moxie, is like, with this whole rebranding thing, like, there's a little bit, if people hear it and they're like, oh, this guy's dope, what has he done? There's a little catalog that people can, you know, check out, and there's stuff there. Yeah, man, I'm going to help some others. I'm going to message you some info on our community. Come by at 5 p.m. Eastern, your nation stream, but I'll shoot you a message with some info. Yeah, man, shoot me a link, 5 p.m. I'll be there. He's been sharing your stream with all of us. It's great because you're a unique type of streamer. Thank you. Yeah, I'll be there at 5. Just shoot me a link to whatever page to go to. I'll stop by. Have a good stream. Too much fun.
America's great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, Christianity has been stomped into the dirt, but it never left. Time for it to reemerge. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. America's great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, Christianity has been stomped into the dirt, but it never left. Time for it to reemerge. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross.
Yeah, I'll check you guys later. Thank you for stopping by.
Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God's surrounding us, it's all around us. Trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in his image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politicking. America's great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, Christianity has been stomped into the dirt, but it never left. Time for it to reemerge. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, fill our morning. I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, fill our morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, feel.
You know, I think the Harmony engine is just having to do the notes, but just in case the pitch on
Every morning I
this
wake
hook
up
here is a
feeling
little
Wash my
wonky,
face,
I'm
put
just
the
gonna
cross on my
tighten
neck.
it up.
I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put.
I'm gonna turn the fan on for just a few minutes.
Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God's surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck.
So I'm thinking, because there's that can't stop all of us, that kind of like, I don't know if he overdubbed that in, but I think I'm gonna have it do some sort of crazy like can't stop all of us, like chop that up and do some shit. Just an idea.
I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed.
You know, one of the things. Sorry, I was just checking. Well, while that was feeding into Melodyne, I was checking my Twitter stuff, and like, I like to think I have lefty sensibilities in some ways. And like, when the left would talk about toxic fandoms, and I mean, sometimes they are the toxic element coming into a fandom where they aren't generally a part of and want to tweak it, like comics and stuff like that. But let me tell you guys, pro wrestling fandoms are fucking toxic. Like, they're not wrong, I mean, about it. Like here's a point I got into an argument with someone the other day, because I had pointed out that if you look at the data, while right-wingers tend to watch NASCAR, baseball, college football, and all that, the two most farthest left audiences for like sports are WNBA and professional wrestling. And I'm trying to remember the original point I was making with that. I think maybe it's just that the people are insufferable. And someone came out and said, "Oh, well, there's this person, and they're non-binary and they get hate, so the fan base needs to be more far left." And my response to them was like, never once have I looked at wrestling and thought to myself, wow, I wish I could see my sex life reflected in this entertainment I'm watching. Like, it's just that thought never, like, and I don't know why people immediately go to it's racist, it's phobic, it's whatever, and it's like, maybe it's just not the time and place for it. Like, that's the much simpler answer. Because, like, even, like, this person came at me with all sorts of those accusations, and I walked them through my actual arguments, and they were like, oh, no, you're not saying anything that's easily dismissible as any of these. Like, you have a legit criticism. And I'm like, yeah, and so does everyone else. And some of it might just be, like, I don't want this stuff infused into, like, my entertainment.
Morning, I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God's surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children.
Okay. I thought it was funny when I opened the acapella files for these, and I saw it was just single tracks of everything, and I'm like, oh, this is meant for me. Like, my friends are like, I'm sort of like infamous amongst them of like just taking a start to finish demo take, and next thing you know, they're like, wait, where'd that harmony come from? And I'm like, oh, I made it out of your voice. Like, so it's like, I'll create the ad libs and everything else, and I can just be given like a scrap of something to turn into and maximize.
Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. My face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. And I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, fill our cup. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God's surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God's morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God's surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politicking. America's great. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the
Go
cross
full
on
Kanye with
I rarely
it.
sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God's surrounding us, He's all around us. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Lift us up, fill our cups. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress.
Let me just see, because I think I'm gonna bounce that out.
Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed.
I mean, even the like tuning of it, it's not that off.
Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed.
Okay. What we do need to do.
Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed.
Let's clean this up a bit. Get a declicker.
Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed.
You know, that's why I had the fan off, because I'm hearing stuff and I'm thinking it's in the track, and it's actually just the background noise from the fan.
Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed.
You know, I have like an album worth of material that I just have to mix. I'm starting to feel like I'm doing everything but what I should be, but I do think what I'm working on is more important. But just even like last night being at the
Every morning I
studio,
wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed.
okay. Bounce out that, bounce a version of it without Melodyne, because he's not out of tune. It's just minor little here and there's, but it's like even that I'm hearing an artifact like right at the end of that whatever that last line is there. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to hi Jamie Star Music, your channel is currently being featured on the D Live homepage. Nice, thank you D Live. That's awesome. I think what I'm gonna do is I'll probably do a version of this for I mean, assuming it's all right with MintChip, probably do a version of this like for him, and then do one for me, and we'll both just release our own and do it like that, and cross promote and all that. Cause like, I want to do some full on Kanye, Bon Iver, Jesus is King
Morning, I
shit.
wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up.
Okay.
Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely
There
sin,
we
so
go.
no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess.
You know,
Putting God
harshness.
first, so I'm never stressed.
I wonder if that's the D clicker. That's, yeah.
Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed.
Ugh.
Morning I wake up
I
feeling
end
blessed.
up in this state
Wash my
sometimes with the
face, put the
DS or
cross
where
on
it's
my
like,
neck. I
oh.
rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Every morning I wake
yeah. Did this dude record this track at my house, MintChip? You got creaky floors, bro. Like, I'm hearing them. I know that sound. I know that sound.
Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess.
Just have
Every morning I
do it
wake
all
up feeling
manually.
blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God's surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politicking. America's great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, Christianity has been stomped into the dirt, but it never left. Time for it to re-emerge. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed.
And
Wash
what was
my
I
face,
thinking
put
of?
the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God's surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters,
Trying to
forgive all
remember
the
which
sinners.
plugin this
Made
is.
in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politicking. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess.
Might be good actually on here.
Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in the morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in the
Soft.
morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed.
See how full that
Every
sounds?
morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up.
I'm almost getting like a One Republic kind of vibe now.
Morning, I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to.
I love that little echo that I'm like.
Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed.
Oh, hold on. Let me just mute this for a second.
Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God's surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politicking. America's great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, Christianity has been stomped into the dirt, but it never left. Time for it to re-emerge. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed.
Alright. Sorry about that. The significant other was calling, so I had to check in and let them know what was up.
Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'm never stressed. Lift us up. I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God's surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politicking. America's great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, Christianity has been stomped into the dirt, but it never left. Time for it to re-emerge. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress.
Okay, don't need that little fill every
Every
time.
morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Every morning I wake up, I'll never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God's surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politicking. America's great, but it's time. Can't stop God's love. I forget all stop God's love. I forget all the God's love. Stop God's love. I forget all the haters. Forgive all the sinners. Stop God's love. I forget all the haters. Forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters.
Maybe just
forgive
actually,
all the
I think
sinners. Made in His image, we are all
just
God's
accenting
children.
that with the beat.
Down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Wait, you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much, can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's. Can't stop God's love. I forget all the hate. Can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image. Can't stop God's love. I forget all the you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's love. I forget all the haters, let us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Let us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politicking. You can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politicking. America's great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, Christianity has been stomped into the dirt, but it never left. Time for it to reemerge. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress.
Alright, I don't think I need chill out engine anymore. I think we got all the MIDI we need. Now it's just a matter of finding the instruments for it.
Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us, He's all around. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us, He's all around us. Trying cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I fill our cups, we feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you fill our cups up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us, He's all around. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters. We feel the love, it's in all of us. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us. We feel the love, it's in all of us. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God. Fill our cups, we feel the. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us. Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners, made in His image, we are all God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners, made in His image, we are all God's children, way too much love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners, made in His image, we are all God's children, way too many of us stuck in a mental prison, where we God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners, made in His image, we are all God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners, made in His image, love. I forget all the God's love. I forget all God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners, made in His image, we are all God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners, made in His image, we are all God's children, way too many of us stuck in a mental prison, worry too much about the petty politicking. America is great, but it's time to God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners, made God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners, made in His image, we are all God's children, way too many of us stuck in a mental prison, worry God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners, made in His image, we are all God's children, way too many of us stuck in a mental prison, worry too much about the petty politicking. America is great, but it's time to go to church. Love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners, made in His image, we are all God's children, way too many. Love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners, made in His image, we are all God's children, way too many of us stuck in a mental prison, worry too much about the petty politicking. America is great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, Christianity has been stomped into the dirt, but it never God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners, God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners, made in His image, we are all God's children, way too many of us stuck in a mental prison, worry too much about the petty politicking. God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners, made in His image, we are all God's children, wait, lift us up, fill our cups, we feel the love, it's in all of us, God surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners, made in His image, forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners, made in His image, we are all God's children, way too many of us stuck in a mental prison.
I wonder. Yo, if MintChip is still watching, and I'm just going far left field with this, bro, just come in and be like, hey, man. I mean, but again, I'm working on stuff, like, generally, when people do this, they'll work on the beat first, and then do all of this fine-tuning vocal stuff afterwards, and I'm, like, just going the complete, you know... I'm essentially just, like... tweaking shit that normally it's most of it's gonna be layered in there.
All the sinners, made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politics.
Sinners, made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politicking.
Forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners, made in His image. We are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politics.
This seems pretty nifty. I should play around with this
All
one
the
a bit
haters,
more often.
forgive all the sinners, made in His image. We are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too.
Get all the haters, forgive all the sinners.
Made in His image, we are all
God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much.
Much about the petty politicking.
Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too.
Too much about the petty politicking.
Okay.
America is great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, Christianity has.
Get all the haters, forgive all the sinners.
Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a.
Made in His image, we are all God. Get all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in them. Get all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politicking. America's great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, Christianity has been stomped into the dirt, but it never down. But you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politicking. America's great. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politicking. America's great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, Christianity has been stomped into the dirt, but in children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politicking. Worry too much about the petty politicking. America's great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, Christianity has been stomped into the dirt, but it never left. In a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politicking. In a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politicking. Worry too much about the petty politicking. In a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politicking. Worry too much about the petty politicking. America's great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, politicking. Worry too much about the petty politicking. America's great, but it's worry too much about the petty politicking. America's great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, Christianity has been stomped into the dirt, but it never left. Time for it to reemerge. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Petty politicking.
Worry too much about the petty politicking.
America's great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, Christianity has been stomped into the dirt, but it never left. Time for it to reemerge. Every petty politicking.
Worry too much about the
petty politicking. America's great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, Christianity has been stomped into the dirt, but it never left. Time for it to reemerge. Every morning I wake up
much about the
petty
politicking.
America's great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, Christianity has been stomped into the dirt, but it never left. Time for it to reemerge. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed.
Worry too much about the petty politicking.
America's great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, Christianity has been stomped into the dirt, but it never left. Time for it to reemerge. Every morning I wake dirt, but it never left. Time for it to reemerge. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, all I'm stomped into the dirt, but it never left. Time for it to reemerge. Every morning I wake up, but it never left. Time for it to reemerge. Every morning I wake up, to the dirt, but it never left. Time for it to reemerge. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so never left. Time for it to reemerge. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Never left. Time for it to reemerge. Never left. Time for it to reemerge. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely never left. Time for it to reemerge. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. Time for it to reemerge. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put
And
the
that
cross on my neck.
is how you make
I
ad
rarely sin,
libs
so no need to
out of the
confess.
main track.
Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress.
I'm glad that the wonky shit I'm trying, like when I'm, you know, letting that pitch bend go up and down and all that shit and automating it, I'm glad that's coming out dope. Oh man, alright. We are almost at 3 hours. I'm going to keep working on this, but I'm going to grab some food and do this with my fan on. So, I'm going to cut the stream here.
Lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children. Way too many of us stuck in a mental prison. Worry too much about the petty politicking. Worry too much about the petty politicking. America is great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, Christianity has been stomped into the dirt, but it never left. Time for it to reemerge. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God, lift us up, fill our cups. We feel the love, it's in all of us. God surrounding us, He's all around us, trying to shut us down, but you can't stop God's love. I forget all the haters, forgive all the sinners. Made in His image, we are all God's children.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop the stream, grab some food.
America
Dope.
is great, but it's time to go to church. Yeah, Christianity has been stomped into the dirt, but it never left. Time for it to reemerge. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need to confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress. Every morning I wake up feeling blessed.
So,
Wash my face, put the cross on my neck. I rarely sin, so no need
getting
to
a call.
confess. Putting God first, so I'll never stress.
So, I hate that Messenger just minimizes and goes to my screen. Anyway, I'll catch everyone later. I will keep everyone in the loop about the song. And for everyone who stopped by today, thank you for the support. And I will catch you guys. Oh, I'm supposed to already